Hey guys, back with another video. I'm sorry for the delay on the South African wars. Uh, basically, it came a week late because I did not have enough time on my hands. I did bad scheduling. I tried to post it 2 days after my birthday, but then I got busy because school did finals and I didn't even know we were, so I had to study and do all of that, so I wasn't able to make it. And it's been a week of summer and I haven't even posted, so I guess I'll do this. And I have a surprise for you guys at the end of the video, so make sure to watch until the end. I'm recording this on my phone because I just got this one and I want to see how it records. So if it's a little bad, it's because it's new, but I'll figure out how to fix it because now I edit with CapCut. So yeah, let's get into it. The South Africa wars. Well, South African, I mean. So basically, May 18th, 2024, Jacob Zuma is just, declares himself the leader of South Africa, and he's just mad that we don't have our land and all of that. That's what he's saying. He wants to make South Africa great again, basically. And he is the current president, but let's say he just flipped the switch and somehow he just became like a fascist dictator. So yeah. So May 22, 2024, they started an invasion on Nambia, which is this yellow country. For y'all that don't know, but yeah, that's Nambia. And they just got some land real quick. They're invading. February 8th, 2025, South Africa just takes over Nambia. No more. They just took the capital. They surrender. So now they have Nambia. Zimbabwe and Mozambique and a bunch of other countries I did not show because there's several South African wars that we're going over. But this is Mozambique, and Mozambique annexed this little country right here, and they kind of like made a little faction with them, Madagascar. So now Madagascar has to listen to Mozambique because they just want to become stronger because they like the idea of making their country great again. So they're trying to do that. So, South Africa declares war on Botswana and Lesotho, which I don't think I'd pronounce that right at all. I'm dyslexic, and I made this like 2 months ago, and I was waiting to post, so I don't even remember some pronunciation, but I'm just going to call it Lesotho. So, Zimbabwe annexed Eswatini, like I said in the slide before. And it just has its former empire that it had right there. That's its flag. And South Africa instantly split Lesotho because they were planning on these invasions. So now May 2nd to 2025, South Africa annexed Lesotho, and it's almost done with invading Botswana. It's halfway done. June 20th, 2025, South Africa declares war on Mozambique because they did not give up Eswatini because that's what they wanted. And if they did not get Eswatini, then they would declare war. It was an ultimatum because that's their land. So, the Botswana military surrenders because look at them right now. They're basically destroyed. Now, this is January 5th, so June to January the next year. So, Botswana capitulates, and Mozambique calls Madagascar into the war because, they're in the alliance, and Mozambique is losing, which they did not think they would. So, yeah. October 28th, 2026, Mozambique's military surrenders because they only have one more state left. And then yeah, they have no more major cities, and South Africa naval invaded Madagascar in the western side, and this will be important for later on. So this is the Battle of Mazi. This battle was the final battle to make South Africa win the war in South Africa, because they were just taking them out, and they sent all of their divisions into Mozambique in this area. This is the little battle plan they had, and it's over the top. They got their helicopters, their infantry, their tanks, so they just went overkill. And you can read that if you want. Okay, November 6th, 2026. The peace treaty of I cannot pronounce Madagascar's capital. I'm not going to even try to do that, but I know that's Madagascar capital. That's the name. So they just had a treaty there, and this is what they decide on. They're going to puppet Madagascar and take all this land, and instead of it being called South Africa, the leader Jacob Zuma decides to call it to the United Emirates of Mansai, which is Africa and most African languages. And they said that they were starting to declaring that they're making nuclear bombs, because South Africa had a huge nuclear program, and now they're just going to have it back up because they used to have nukes, so they want to do that. I made this flag. I spent not too long. I just took the coat of arms of South Africa and two of the colors to make it what South Africa is, and I like it. So sorry, that's my cat. My cat's a little loud in the mornings. Okay. September 27th, 2029, Jacob Zuma requests to buy the land of Zimbabwe. So the UN wouldn't let him buy it all. They did not let him buy all of that land. That kind of made Jacob Zuma mad, so he retaliated by saying he's not trying to be a tyrant. He's just trying to reform his land, and the UN basically retaliated with saying that in the argument. Hitler said the same thing is what the UN said. So they're comparing Hitler to Jacob Zuma in this. And Jacob Zuma is furious, so he's not happy. And Madagascar is now a complete puppet. As you can see, it's also orange. So, January 6, 2036, as the Empire, what did I say? Empire, it's Emirates of Mansai, celebrates their formation. Their leader says he will take over Zimbabwe to make us live up to our glory. So he's going to take out Zimbabwe because he's trying to reform the whole empire, because it used to be the empire of Madagascar. If you play Hearts of Iron 4, that's a nation you can form as South Africa. That's where I got the inspiration for this video, but this is in modern day. So, basically, since they bought half of Zimbabwe, the leader just wanted more. Jacob Zuma wanted all of that chunk. The blue nation right here, not the light blue, this one where my mouse is on, that is Zimbabwe. And they want that land. So, Mansai moves from all sides to rapidly take Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe calls its ally because they have a little alliance with this African country, which I forgot the name of. This is it, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I'm American and dyslexic, and I cannot pronounce things. So, this is the country, this green one, and this blue one that are attacking, well, not attacking, they're being attacked by Mansai, or South Africa. I'm going to refer to it as South Africa. So, Mali attacks the United Emirates of Mansai, while all their troops, like, so basically all their troops were there, and Mansai did not have any of their troops up here, so they were not able to attack fast enough. It's not because Mansai was weak, it's because they had like literally no troops up there. They didn't expect these guys to join in. So they got that land. And in April 21st, 2036, they cut them off. They cut off their supply, all of that, because there's no supply there. They know that, so they cut them off. So they're just a corpse with military and their home area. So they get their supply lines back, and they naval invaded up here because they didn't want to walk all the way through there because that would be a little tough. So they did a little naval invasion from here and went in through here. And May 19th, 2036, the Treaty of Cape Town was signed. And basically, you can read all this before I keep explaining. So basically, the Treaty of Cape Town gave Mali these parts, which aren't even part of their homeland. So, but that was the only condition if they didn't want to still be at war. So this is just the land. And South Africa finished research on nuclear bombs. So January 5th, I will read this in just a second. Basically, these two countries were scared of Mansai. They were scared that they were too powerful. So, with the rising tension between North and South, they just decided to unite just for a short amount of time, a couple years, so they didn't get killed one by one. And they just did it to not for politics, but for military. So that's what happened. Now, there's a communist coup, or coup d'etat, whatever you want to call it. It's a coup, that's what I call it, or a coup, or a coup d'etat. I'm going to call it a coup or coup a lot. So basically, Madagascar fought back against these new guys, and the leader of Madagascar right now decided, you know, we're communists, let's just let's attack. We're socialists, let's have communism. It makes us strong. So let's just have a little coup, fight back, take our land back. Yep, so that's the next page. September 9th, 2038. Mansai started getting invaded by the SWA, but that's just what it's called if you read it up there. And then Madagascar starts to attack Mansai as well. So it's a full-scale invasion on Mansai. They're cut off there, they're cut off here in Madagascar. So this is bad. But Mansai sets off nuclear alerts. They're saying, we're not afraid to send nukes to you. So, yeah, I don't think you should attack us anymore. But SWA and Madagascar are like, no, we are going to attack you. But Mansai's not afraid of Madagascar. They're afraid of the SWA because they're very big. So now this is the battle of the capital of Madagascar. Now, this is from Madagascar's point. This is their naval invasion. They have all their navy that they captured going here to cut them off when they're running back to sea. They're not naval invading completely. They're just on the shore and sending some guys in so they cannot make it out. They're encircled. They have artillery, tank, and infantry all heading there. And I'll let you guys read this because this is big. Skip ahead a couple seconds to hear me talking again on the next slide. Okay, October 13th, 2037, the United Emirates of Metzai successfully naval invaded northern parts of Mongolia, and they bombed civilian cities and hospitals, cities without any military stationed in them. They bombed them, and that was bad. And they did it to stop the SWA to like stop fully invading, and the SWA kind of fell for this for a little bit, and that sucked. Now, Madagascar got all their land back. This is all the land they needed. This is all the land they wanted. Because Madagascar, in real life, drifted away from this part of Zimbabwe. I'm not Zimbabwe, Mozambique. My bad. Mozambique, they fell away from there. That's why they look like they could fit into each other. You know. So, Mansai also, like, readied their nuclear missiles to bomb the SWA to make them surrender. And they're like, we're not going to stop doing this, and we're not going to not launch the nukes. So this makes the UN kind of scared of them, but they don't do anything because nothing's happened. So this is Operation Full Storm. Basically, all of Mansai's Navy, their Air Force, and lots of their infantry is just storming the coast of Mongolia, or the SWA at this point, to divert them to move all their troops there. Because if you read this, which I'll let you guys pause, I'm not going to stop talking. They did this so they can nuke part of the SWA with military that is moving here, or just civilian places, to like make the SWA give up because they don't want their people to die. So these are the spots that were nuked. Mansai spent a lot of time making nukes. They weren't big. They weren't too much bigger than Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but they were bigger. But they weren't stuff like the Tsar Bomba or any huge nuclear bomb. And they were small, like the Davy Crockett. So they were just small. It would be launched from all south of Mansai all the way to there. So now the SWA lost most of their major cities. They're just gone. Their military bases, so they surrendered to leave the rest to like people and soldiers that want to fight. And Mansai just pushed them back. So this is the peace treaty. November 2nd, 2037, the Treaty of Madagascar. So after the awful bloody war, Jacob Zuma and the leader of Madagascar decided to meet in New Zealand, because that's a safe, neutral place, you know. And that is normal sometimes in wars, like sometimes they'll be flown to neutral places during the war, like Switzerland, Iceland, Greenland, New Zealand, places that are far away from all of this. So that's what they did. And this is the borders they decide to do, okay? If we go back up here, this sand-colored country had most of the nukes in their country. Actually, all of them except for one, if you can see that. So they're basically a corpse. They don't have nothing. They're just wasteland, desert, and nuclear fallout. So, people weren't happy with these borders in the end that weren't part of Madagascar and Mansai. Mansai got everything they wanted. There's a rebellion in Cape Town. This is the Cape Town Rebellion, November 12th, 2037. A year after, or not a year after, a day after the treaty was signed, the people were like, Yep, we hate this. We hate you, Jacob Zuma. You're a tyrant. We don't want to live in this dictatorship. We have no freedom. And we don't like going into wars that will leave all of our people dead, our women, our children, our men. So, Cape Town rebelled. Now, Mansai decided to redraw the borders. And this is it now. They got their capital because their capital wasn't Cape Town. They switched it because Jacob Zuma didn't want anything of the old empires and the old democracy. So, Cape Town just did this. They decided to keep this side. But this would not last for long. But this is the state of South Africa. These are the flags and all that. Read this if you want to, because you don't need to read this because I've explained everything. So, read if you want. So you will pause the video, and then I'll go to the next slide. Okay, so this slide has all of the leaders of the countries. These three, this one, and this one are real. Jacob Zuma, leader of Madagascar, and this guy who's running for president in South Africa. The other three aren't real. They're AI generated. They're not real people. Because I don't know how I could find someone who would lead for these countries, like someone that I know would fit. So yeah, this is it. I'm not going to waste any more time on this slide, so next page. June 18th, 2039. Today, the leader of Mansai, Jacob Zuma, was assassinated by South African nationalists who weren't identified. So, with all this tension, the UN steps in and said, both South Africa's, Mansai and South Africa, will unite under one country, and then all the warlord states would as well, to keep them together. Okay, June 28th, 2039. This is the man who assassinated Jacob Zuma. You know the drill. Pause it if you want to read it, but it just explains why he did and just what it is, the terror organization. Now, you don't need to know it, but you might want to because that's the rest of this. It's SEP, which is South African Environmental Preservers. That's what they call themselves. So, who will lead South Africa? So this is in December 29th, 2039. All of South Africa united under one country, even the warlord states. So someone had to lead it. This guy, his name is Liam Underwood. He is also a fake character, but he's a Luxembourgian prince. He's from Luxembourg, and he wants to make South Africa better and wants to keep peace with its neighbors and not be anything bad. So he's democracy. It's democracy. So Mansai is no longer Mansai, it's South Africa. And read this if you want to. And this also explains more about him. Read this if you want to. Okay. January 16th, or actually, let me see something. Oh yeah, this was another page. My bad. Sorry for that. Oh, this is also something you can read because this also tells more about Liam Underwood. So does this. Actually, I'll go there for one more second. Read it if you want to. This basically says how he wants to make peace with Madagascar, so they met in the capital. These are the new borders, 4 years after the president was assassinated. So this is new borders. SEP, so Liam Underwood got good relations with SEP, so they made him have a little autonomy in this zone. He did this because he wanted to keep peace. He didn't want to be assassinated. He didn't want any terror in South Africa. He did not want that. and he gave Madagascar all the land of Mali, northern part of Mozambique, and all Madagascar. And this is the end. It's good for everyone. And this also says more about what happened. Read if you want. These are the flags. This one up here is SEP's flag. This one with the coat of arms is South Africa, their new reformed flag. And then this is Mozambique's flag from before. So, this is your gift from me. I'm going to make 3 more videos in a couple weeks. They're going to be me redrawing the borders after World War II, modern Chinese Civil War, which I've already made, and I'm going to film it today. And I'm going to continue the story, say what happened, and see what else happens. It's not all going to be South Africa going in wars. It's Southern Africa. Now, this is just going to show, like, what happens and all the diplomacy. If you want to see diplomacy, watch this video. If you want to see alternate history, cool borders, watch this video. And then if you want to watch something from sort of my point of view, but not really, I'm going to have a special video which I'll show at the end of this video when it's made, which will be the last video. Okay? This is going to be more realistic, but not really. But it's just going to be a modern Chinese Civil War. So, I hope you loved the South African Wars. Let's go back to the beginning. There it is. I spent some time on this, and I made a couple of YouTube shorts promoting this in a community thing. I'm sorry for the delays again, and I'll post those videos sooner or later. But I hope you like this, and sorry for my stuttering or my phone moving around when it did like this, or like when I moved it, or the fan blowing behind me, or the cat meowing. I'm just sorry for that. I didn't mean to make it any loud or make this move. It's just I don't have a good film thing. I just want to try to make a good video for you guys. So I hope you liked it. And if you want any suggestions for anything I will make anything you guys suggest in the comments. And bye.